Hello again. Here we are at the Mars Project. It's me, Cory. Jay's back there working the boards. Um, Tonight, I think what I want to do, I've had this song stuck in my head for a while. I can't play a very long section of it for you because we found out the hard way that our streams will get taken down when we do that. So, might play you a little snippet of it, but you can also imagine it or pause the stream. No, please don't do that. Go check it out. I've been listening to this song called Bossy Bot by Stormzy. I don't know if any of y'all know this tune. It's from about a year ago. Stormzy's a UK rapper. And I just can't get over this track. It's so cool. I really like I really like his flow and stuff on it, but I've been thinking about the beat. There's something about this beat that's so addictive to me. It's really kind of like this sort of simple kind of thing. But like he has this like super like addictive and really fun kind of drum programming going on with it that I think is really clever, and I'd like to emulate a little bit. So like it sounds to me like, so I want to kind of like pick this apart a little bit and see if we can sort of piece together what's happening in here, and I can like make something that's like it. I don't know, inspired by it. Trying to end up with some piece of music at the end of every one of these streams. So I don't, this to me doesn't sound like something that necessarily like it's really simple. It's like you can make something like this pretty quick if you put your mind to it. So let's just like dig around in here a little bit and see what kind of things we need to get together. The very first thing I hear is like some kind of like it's some kind of like keyboard, like maybe bell or mallet kind of sample, kind of a thing. So I'm gonna look for something like that in my sample library, rather than trying to like synthesize that. You can hear that it's like going through like a layer of like some pretty heavy modulation effects too. So we'll try and do that ourselves as well. I think I have a bunch of weird one shots in one of these cymatic sample packs. So I bet you I can find something in here that we can warp into something that'll suit this. Oh, they've already done the work for you. That one's pretty charming. Let's go with that. I'll make a new MIDI track and drop that on there. This is very conveniently tuned to C already, so I don't have to do any like editing to that sample. Apologies to anyone who's trying to chat me. I can't see your chats right now for some reason. Our chatternator is not working. But I still care about what you have to say. You can DM the Mars Instagram and I will get it here ready for you. So that's kind of fun. Let's make a nice reverb on that. I like it. Let's see if we can get it in the same key as this other track, which is going to involve me listening to it a lot. So apologies. Something like that. Oh. That's all there is to it. It's key of G minor. So let's flip this thing over to scale of G. I like to like, I'm a guitar player, and so when I'm playing push, and I'm like, it's pretty convenient for me to keep it in like this gridded out view that I have it in here right now. I keep looking at our TV instead of at my camera. Hi everybody. In this view that I have it in now, the grid is arranged in the same way that the low strings of a guitar are arranged. So it like goes up in fourths. So you can like do fun stuff like play guitar chord shapes on the instrument, and it's pretty fun. Yeah, so if any of you like play guitar and know this like shape for the blues scale, if that looks familiar, A lot of people learn that. It's like a pretty early on thing they learn. Anyways, let's make this sound more useful. I want to like, I like that reverb tail almost more than I like the sound. So I kind of want like a little pluckier too. So if I like, I'm gonna crop the sample a little bit. Ah. So if we're gonna try and emulate this thing, we can try and keep it simple and do it just like the song. Which like this the way they have this thing kind of like laid out is they're doing this sort of uh like harmonic minor kind of thing, you know, kind of a sound. We can do that if we feel like it. I'm not convinced that's what I want to do. Oh, I do want to leave it in a polyphonic mode though. So if I keep my simpler in this mode, if in classic mode I can play it polyphonically, and the nice thing you can do is like crank the release. So if your sample has baked in reverb like this one does, a nice and tasty reverb effect that I don't have to spend any extra CPU getting. Yeah, okay, I'm getting closer to an idea. Um, Something like that. Let's oh dear. Okay. Remember the rule in here is unfortunately for me, first idea, best idea. So um, let's quantize that. I'm gonna quantize this to I'm playing these are all eighth notes, so I'm gonna quantize this to eighth notes. I'm gonna get it like most of the way there. This sort of like I don't know what you want to call it, like drill kind of sound stuff is like very quantized. You know, this is not like a loose boom bap kind of a feeling sort of thing that we're going for here. Um, I'm just gonna clean up some of these bogus notes. Let's make a couple adjustments to this. Kind of like that bowed out. It was kind of fun. Seems like in the spirit of the idea. Uh, Not trying to be very original here, just trying to have a good time. So, in the original track, this is layered with some kind of like gnarly town noise. And of course, there's an 808, which we'll get there. But there's just like, um, that's a technical term. So let's see what we can find any of that anywhere. I think I've mentioned to some of you who have heard this stream before that I keep a field recording app very handy on the home screen of my phone, and do a lot of random field recording, and so I probably have something like that somewhere. These are these are from. I've recently switched from using the Zoom Handy Recorder app to the native voice memos app since I figured out that they do finally allow you to do high res wave recording. So that's nice. Let's see if any of these are cool. I do not know what we are going to hear right now, so just be forewarned. It will be appropriate, whatever it is. Oh my god. This is my dog barking in her sleep. See if I can make that louder. Sorry, this is kind of a fun sample. Just quick little cute puppy moment. We're going to use this in the song. That's my baby girl. Okay, so there's a pretty solid noise right here at the end that kind of has like a lot of character, like the noise in the track. Just kind of like weird house noise. This is going to be, well, I don't want to forget about the rest of that because we are going to, you know what's going to be cool, Jay, is when we reverse those. It's going to get it in the zone. So let's set this track up to be like a cool noise thing. They do some cool stuff with like filtering and like maybe some chorusing. One thing about this is that it's mono because I'm recording on an iPhone. And okay, quick iPhone gripe. I have an older iPhone that has only mono mics, but modern iPhones now have stereo mics, but they do not allow you to do stereo audio recording. It's only for video. So like apparently non-video apps can't access the stereo mic, and I am very bitter about that because I want stereo recording for my dog naps and ambience. So Apple, if you're watching, if you're one of our, well, I can't see how many people are watching right now, but if you're one of them, Tim Apple, holler at me. Okay, we're gonna put some sort of effect on this thing. What are we gonna do? Let's just put the old Tal chorus LX, the old Juno chorus. Make it. Like kind of the motion that the first algorithm gives. I'm gonna dial the stereo width all the way and the dry wet all the way. Uh, Now that is just like bassy as heck, and that's no good for anyone. So just before we get any further in there, like I'm just gonna high pass. I have been asked by viewers of this stream to define terms when I use them. I am casually throwing out jargon as if you know what I'm talking about. So this one is for you, robot. High passing is when you filter out frequencies of audio to only allow the high frequencies to pass. So this is a high pass filter I have set up here in my equalizer. The cutoff frequency is the frequency below which I will start cutting off notes, or it's the high pass. It's allowing notes above that cutoff to pass through. So, or I shouldn't say notes. I should say frequencies. So listen, and you'll hear what I'm talking about. No, what I don't want is that like tubby rumble. Kind of fun though, but it's not very musical, and I want to save that space for some bass. So like there's a couple different steepnesses to this high pass filter, and so there's this one, and then there's a 4 times a steep filter, and the steeper one will cut off more of the low frequencies. And this is probably what we're gonna need for this. Because I want to retain some of the MIDI character, like the low mids, but I don't want bass. So that's a reasonable approximation of my desire there. Let's see how this layers with that. Oh, you're not a loop yet, are you? Let's make you a loop. Oh. One thing I wish they were both living in the same space more. They're kind of they feel separate. Where like in the original in the Stormzy track, they feel really together. And so like I think there's a result of some like either similar processing or some like actual like serial, or I guess like parallel, group processing is the word I'm looking for. Oh dear. Do I have to define those terms? Okay, robot, here it comes. Serial, parallel, group processing. Serial processing would be processes that occur one after the other. Parallel processes being processes that occur alongside each other. And group processes, in this case, the word I was looking for is when processes are occurring to a bunch of things all together. So that's a can be either serial or parallel, but treated from more than one input source. There you go, buddy. So let's group these together and treat them like a group. So maybe we're gonna see let's see what happens if we put that chorus on the group instead. Oh, that helped. Oh, right away. Now they're together. Oh, it's a little spicy dynamically for that. So I'm going to turn these down. So I just heard that plugin did not like that input level, I don't think. It's not caring for that much at all. Got a little distorted. This doesn't sound quite as old as I would like it to. So we're going to pull out that old standby. The old isotope vinyl, which why are you not in my mod and pitch effects zone? Here you are. I'm really happy about the revised version of this plugin. This has been around for a long time, but it's a lot more useful now, it seems like to me. So you can hear it's like spitting out some random noise. I don't care for that much. But what I do want is the warping. Oh, listen to that. Like, we're getting so close, are we not? And you betcha we're gonna use that later. So the where parameter here is really useful. Gives it like I also imagine how much CPU cycles this uses, like trying to like animating this little like graphic here. This kind of drives me nuts. Need a better computer. That'll give it. You hear it getting the distortion. I like how it goes barrel. You know, dude. Oh, I'm having a good time. Okay, cool. So, I'm pretty pleased with that. It sounds kind of like the thing. There's a lot of reverb going on here, though. So, like I'm almost positive we're gonna want to be doing some side shading at some point. So, in terms of what goes on in the original track, this noise layer that they have going on like does some stuff. Like it gets pitched around or filtered a bit. You can hear it's like, oops, it's lower. Oh, here's they run this whole group through something, I think. They do that little thing right there with it too. So we can maybe set something like that up. I think we should like totally like copy the form of this and everything. It's such like a tidy little form. It's gonna work great. So like this more or less runs through the entire thing. I guess we should probably well, I'm gonna be quite honest with you. Doing this 808 is maybe gonna be a little funky. We'll find it a little challenging. I struggle with this particular thing. And I wonder sometimes if it is that I'm like this is going to sound pretentious, but I'm like a university trained musician person. Like I went to music school and like studied an instrument and like did all that stuff. And so like I think a lot about like this stuff from a music theory perspective because that's my background and like my training. But I'm like fully aware that like a lot of folks, I don't know who made this beat, or I do know who made it. I don't know his background, but I don't know if he's thinking about this in the same way where he's like, oh, like the bass line really ought to be like follow the roots of the chords, or it needs to like be a compatible note. It might just be like some low kind of basement note that just works fine. You know, we can sort of look and see if we can find out. We pull up in Spectrum here and like I see a spike here, like that's kind of around D ish. that kind of makes me wonder, like, if that's probably like a first harmonic of like D1's like probably a first harmonic of a subby bass note, you know. There's this other spike down here, like kind of like it sort of looks like it's around like the A-ish range, but I think or like it could be that it's like actually a really low G right there. Um, Remember, we're in the key of G. Okay, now I'm talking about music theory. Here we go. We're in the key of G. So there's like a G chord is like the root of the harmony, and then there's like a D chord, D major. I'm sorry, G minor chord. That's the root of the harmony, and then a D major chord. And our harmonic idea is kind of alternating between those two sounds. So I would think like the good notes to choose would be G and or D. And we're in the key of G, so G is a pretty logical choice. But let's try both options. Tonight, instead of wasting time trying to like make something like this from scratch, because I'm not great at that either. I'm being honest tonight. Let's just find a nice 808 sample that works for us. Not dumpster enough for me. I want it to sound like you're full on kicking the side of a dumpster. Now these are kind of cool. What's the vibe of this one? It's a little simpler. It's kind of like this one a little less like fuzzy sounding than this. But I like, here's my concern about like using this one. I do like that it's tuned to C. Oops. Oh, I gotta get you out of the instrument group, huh? But when I pitch it all the way to, like, it works on a C and it works as a high G, but the low G is just like a little too. It's like a real fart. So we're gonna continue on. Like, surely there's like a key of G one somewhere. We don't all want to play in C though, guys. Where are my 808s in G? That's a little bit much for me. That's pretty straight up. Doesn't that kind of sound like it's playing a D though? So here's my D from that instrument. Nah, I think it's a G. It's hard to tell. So the reason I'm like my ears getting scrambled on it is like in a G. I think what's happening is like D is one of the lower overtones of a G note. So it's like I think I'm not hearing the fundamental of the thing very well, and I'm hearing an overtone instead. 808s are tricky though. Like, it's like if you don't grab the same sample or do it in the same way they did, like so much of it is just like the process. There's a lot going on in that one. Maybe let's see if we find one that's a D and we'll pitch it down and see if that does anything for us. So transpose it down 2 steps. I think we're getting somewhere with that. That's kind of cool. Remember, I like to juice everything through the old front door. But not the whole track. think we're getting somewhere with that. So I want to make sure it's gonna glide. Make sure it's a glide mode. And turn the volume velocity down too. I have enough to worry about without worrying about that. Do I like the EQ? I do kind of like it. Why did it pop at the end of that note? I do not know. So what's going on in this pattern? Boom. Boo, whoop, boo, boo. Something along those lines, you know? What did I do there? That was a weird choice. I decided to go with playing D's. I don't think that's what they're doing in the track, but that's what I went with. I'm gonna clean some of this up and make sure that there's something right there. Quantize that a bit. I think these could probably quantize the 8th as well. I kind of like this sound of like the hanging out on D, even though we're in the key of G. D is a note that fits both of the chords that we've chosen really well. So it's a great choice. I think it sounds pretty neat. I kind of want to be able to control the end of these a little better, so I think I might switch it into see if I can put it in classic mode. So then in classic mode, I can control how long the note lasts. And you can put that nice space in between the notes that really helps give it some more groove. I want to do it here too. So get these notes to go, and basically called glide is the parameter. So in my sampler, it's over here in the controls window. You can do this all on push too, but I'm so much faster on it doing it on the computer. I've had this thing for so long, and I never really like found it to improve my speed at all. I do love it as an input device, but anyways, that's a complaint for another time. So I have the glide turned on, so I can decide how long it takes it to move to each of those notes. 50 milliseconds is kind of short. I might just flip it to 100 and see what it does. Oh yeah. I think I want to like re-trigger that note. There's not like in this beat. There's not a lot of like, not a ton of 16th notes in any of the other instruments besides the hi hats, which I noticed. Let that play a little longer. Let's let that play a little longer. I know this is maybe a smidge tedious, but see if I can get that to go. A? That's a weird note choice there. No, that's fine. Gotta make sure this all works good. It's worth it though, trust me. Make that one pop up again. I want it to go boo, boo. Very descriptive. It's a technical term that I learned in university. My state education showing its value. Boom. 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 They don't teach you that in college. If they do teach you that in college, you're going to a cool college. I'll tell you that. I originally thought I was gonna like major in like some kind of electronic music, but they only offered like some really weird academic stuff, and I just wanted to make tracks, and that's not how the program was structured. So, oops, probably don't actually want to do that. So I have it set to cool my velocity. Yeah, that's also set good. Cool. This should sound like music. Ending there was kind of weird. Let's re-trigger that at least. Let's try and be cool. I'm trying to be cool, you guys. Yeah, we're gonna do it this way because there's a lot of triplets coming up later that we got to make room for. Tight. We're gonna crop this guy and loop it. You are now a nice loop. Okay, so let's listen back to this track. Trying to be sneaky, not play too much, not make Jay have to edit a ton. But here, let's see what happens. So there's some like really characterful hats and snares and kicks here. This is the heart and soul of this beat and what makes it really interesting. Like it's the I wish we could just listen to it and I could blab about it, but I really think what it is for me that's so cool about it is like I'll try and play this image of it again. I think that like there's like a reverse kicks happening a lot. Listen. Right? Like tons of reverse kicks in that phrase. We could like, I wonder if this will get us around it. You tell us if this does. You know, there's just every bass is filled up with reverse kick. And that snare's just got a nice like just like splatty wide splat. I don't know, like it sounds pretty cool and wide to me. Like really nice drum sounds in here. Very tasty business happening. So let's get a drum kit together. There are twos. Oh, that's odd. If I use the shortcut to make a new MIDI track, it loads my default empty MIDI track. But if I just drag an instrument to it, it does not. That's frustrating. I like to have all this stuff on here. I might end up needing to produce a bunch of this stuff on the timeline with all the reverse sounds, and I really would like to like get like I'd like to get some other cool stuff going on here too. But we'll see. Oh, I want to get these dog sounds. That's what I was gonna say. I want to get these dog sounds like somehow worked into this beat. But let's like let's start by like getting something that feels like some cool drums together. We could probably do snares on the timeline too. Let's do stuff on the timeline. I've been playing a lot of stuff on the push and like playing MIDI stuff, but like that's one style of production. I think I'm gonna switch gears here. We're gonna do it that way. So let's find ourselves like a kick that works well for us. I have this massive folder of kicks. But it's something like that. You know, like maybe it's a little like pingier than that. Like kind of like that. Ooh. Let's try that one. Drip kick. You'll probably notice me use a lot of these cymatics samples just because they're handy. They sound great. I recommend them if anyone would like some good samples. They're pretty cool. Oh, I was like, man, I'm nailing it. Not quite the same. What's different about mine? Oh yeah, I think the pitch of their sample is higher. I don't like that as much though. There's a little bit of much reverb for me though. Let's tone that down a smidge. Great. Oh, I really like this kick. I think this kick is going to be perfect. So I'm just going to drop them on there. We could like try and copy the pattern. That could be kind of fun. Yeah, let's do that. And then we'll maybe do a variation on it. So gosh, I love that snare. Could just sample it. That's cheating. Try not to cheat. I said that people could DM me on the Mars Insta, but I have apparently been lying. Let me catch up real quick. What's going on over here? People are asking for permission to message me. Who is this? Oh. Okay. Message received. Okay. We're being asked to define some terms. I think I'm not sure if this is an asking for a definition of terms or just a kind of a terrifying emoji. But I received parentheses 808 as a message, and I'm kind of wondering if I should define that. The 808 I'm referring right now refers to a bass drum sound, but you notice that you'll see the term 808 pop up a bunch. 808 is a famous drum machine from Roland, the TR-808, and that thing is it's like one of the foundational elements of all electronic music. We'll use it a lot. We'll probably use some 808 sounds today. I just love the snap to that. It's compressed really heavily. I kind of like, remember these were trendy for a while? These like snares with these big kind of almost notes, peaks. Remember these have these like kind of almost notes that ring out. I kind of like a couple of these, but they're too like notey. Maybe like this though, with like some. This is like a little more over the top than I would think would be applicable here, but like maybe we can work some magic on it real quick. Because I don't like it's a little smeary. That's a technical term, smeary. This sound of a smear. So it doesn't have this very sharp attack, But since we're here on the timeline, it's pretty easy just to lop that sucker off. And I don't really care for that tail either, but again, we're here on the timeline, so... that's something. Not exactly the same, but... oh, there's that kind of like... little on it. Kind of like almost like it's reversed into itself is kind of like my suspicion. So we have duplicated and reversed our sample. So I'm going to grab a little bit of it and snuggle it right up to here. And like it's really short and pretty subtle, so I'll turn this volume down on this. Not quite enough, huh? Is this sample not going to work? Not snappy enough, I think. We're going back and digging. Ooh, that's almost right. Astro Mojave snare. Okay. Interesting waveform. I'm interested in waveforms, I guess. I find them interesting. Didn't quite work. Oops. Let's try again. Different method this time. That's a little better. Let's just roll that for now. It's kind of embarrassingly bad, but maybe we'll layer it or something. Blah, 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 blah. I'm just going to duplicate a few out for a second and listen to this kick pattern. Yeah, let's let our bass line play through. I think my favorite part is when it goes boop, 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 boop. So I wanted to do that in this beat too. So let's stop referencing that for a second and just like make this work with what we've got. Because I wrote a different bass line. It's not the same thing. So I'm just trying to like catch some of their cool vibe. I've always really liked electronic music from the UK for some reason. Found Aphex Twin when I was very young, and it's been a big influence on my taste in music ever since. What's wrong with that bass line? Why does that sound terrible? Fix my bass line. It's like the opposite of, it's like Pimp My Ride, I guess. Or it's that like we need like much better. The swagger in this beat that I'm trying to copy comes from all this stuff being, it's all like kind of boxy and square, kind of until you get to the hi-hats, which is where all the interesting syncopation comes in. And of course the kicks here, which I'm gonna just shamelessly steal this idea because I love it so much. I guess before, maybe we should try and get this kick to go. I'm curious if we can see in the beat, like, any evidence of these reversed kicks. They don't, yeah, here it is. Whoop, whoop. So maybe they're forward the first couple times and then reversed. I think maybe is what's going on. It looks like they're reversed within a 16th note. So I'm gonna make sure that these guys will fit. So do I really like you learn a lot from pulling instrumental into your DAW. I'm defining a term, DAW, D-A-W, Digital Audio Workstation. Ableton is one. There are many others. You know, you can just look at this waveform and I can see like when the lines are darker and like closer together, like they are. Oop, one moment. You can like when you're seeing the waveform and you see like the lines like more compressed together, that's higher frequencies, and when the lines are like further apart, like bigger waves, those are lower frequencies. And so I'm able to kind of like peer into the song a little bit here and like learn something about it, which is pretty cool. We're having a little thing happening back there. Oh boy, oh boy. I hope it's not my computer being a little sassy. So we're having a little HDMI switcher challenge here. But I'm gonna keep plugging in kicks as this goes, and except when it seizes up my mouse. That's not fun either. Is that one reversed? Here, let's see. I can't tell. Oh yeah, that's a cool trick. So he does this thing where he like plays one and then like it like basically like flips right into a reverse version of itself. Pretty clever thing. Okay. Oh man, these reverse kicks are just bonkers. It's a tough thing to emulate. Let's hear what it sounds like right now, though. Heard worse. Not quite catching his vibe on those kicks though. I really do think there's something clever going on here that like I'm not understanding. But maybe I'm just gonna do my own thing with it and not worry too much about it. So I still feel like these like I was kind of curious if this would work, like if like having these reverse and then like just playing like the transient from the kick like afterwards would help give them some definition. Did that help? Oops. I'm not convinced it helped. Oh, but what if we do this? This is kind of sort of what they had going on elsewhere. That sounds just like garbage. I love it. Oh, no wonder this. Okay, sorry. I've been like, why does my drum sound so trashy? I'm really peeking the master channel here, so we gotta ease up on all this stuff real quick. I'm having a good time. This is cool. I think this turned out good. I'm just gonna keep programming this for a minute while Jay does, tries to solve whatever problems he's solving. You're not getting my laptop right now?
It's working, but it loves to freeze.
Well.
I think it's a CPU issue. It only seems to do it when you're.
Just my luck. Sounds about right. So, just to ease my weary mind here, I'm gonna like I'm gonna like duplicate this drum pattern. Um, and then I want to get this like reverse guy here at the beginning. I want to reverse in that first kick and go. I'm so in love with the sound. This is cool. This is really fun. You're not making it easy on me though, Shay. It's like producing on hard mode. Uh, that's fun. Um, oh geez. Do you wanna like go dark for a minute and try and troubleshoot?
Um, yeah, we can.
I'm cool with that. Um, Okie dokie. Bye bye, everybody. Just for a second, everybody. Hi, everybody. We're gonna see if this works. Having some weird difficulties getting my laptop to speak to the switcher, but we'll see if they're resolved. We might be cutting this one a little short tonight. Oh, it's already acting up. That's not good. I went and like duplicated and added a little more of the drums. I think they're sounding kind of cool now. Okay, so how are we gonna work these sounds that my dog made into this song? Um, while Jay solves all my problems in the background. Uh, how are we gonna do this? Okay, I feel like she's got kind of like a whoop 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 kind of rhythm going on. That kind of reminds me of the rhythm of the music, you know? So let's okay. I don't know if y'all can hear me or not. But
They can hear you.
oh well, great. You can hear me if you can't see me. Uh, what do you think? Is this thing falling apart at the seams, Jay? Oh dang. What do you think?
Can't reset OBS without stopping the stream. So
Okay.
should we say a dark goodbye?
Yeah, I guess guess sounds like we're gonna have to say a slightly early and unfortunate dark goodbye, everyone. We're having some technical difficulties over here. This is still kind of a new setup for us, and we're still kind of shaking out the bugs and making a few different pieces of the puzzle talk to each other. So uh, we're gonna call it for this evening. Thanks to anyone who tuned in. I couldn't necessarily tell if you had, but I appreciate those who did. Don't forget to follow us, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I'm waving goodbye to you now. This is me waving goodbye. Goodbye. Thank you and goodbye.